Hey there, I'm Carmen Mallard and I'm here today to take some of the mystery out of running the sound booth. So there's a lot of things and equipment up here that seems a little bit intimidating, but the truth is these are just tools that we can use to get ministry done here. So first, let me show you a few things. There are several sections to the sound booth. This is the live streaming section. It's got a place for cameras and the computer for live streaming. This is the lights. There's some instructions in the board on how to use that. This is projection. That's where we put the lyrics up on the screen and the PowerPoint notes that Spencer does. And over here is the sound section. Underneath this big cloth is our soundboard. First, let me teach you a little bit about sound and our speaker system. So this is a little miniature version of the speakers that we have up front, and the grill's been taken off so I can show you. Right here, let me make sure you're in focus. Right here is like a little piece of paper. And right here is a little piece of paper. Right there is a little piece of paper. Well, it's not actually paper, but it's thin like paper. And so when sound goes through these, they vibrate like your eardrum and make noise so that you can hear them and enjoy the music. Just like our eardrums, if sound goes through these things too loudly or makes a pop, we could mess up the speaker. These little papers could tear, and once the papers tear, just like your eardrum, they don't work anymore. Microphones work the same way, but in reverse. They get the sound from around them. There's a little piece of paper inside of there that vibrates and runs through and sends a signal out so that the soundboard can interpret the signal and then put it out through the speakers. So this is a very sensitive instrument. So you should never yell into it or never tap on top of it. On some microphones, that tap will break down the sensitivity of the paper and it'll ruin the microphone over time. So it's really important for instruments like this to be in a climate controlled environment so that the paper doesn't get wet or rot or and to be taken care of. Now, why is this important? Have you ever turned on and off a speaker and heard a pop? Well, that's what we're trying to avoid. So there's a special way to turn on the sound system here. We turn on the board first, then we turn on the speakers. So the first thing we'll do is we'll turn on the power strip. It is located underneath this light board, and it turns on the light board. Let me see if I can get the camera down there to show you where it is. See that come on? Now, the light board is lit up, and all of these receiver modules for the microphones are lit up. The next thing we'll do is turn on the soundboard. The soundboard switch is located behind right in here. When you turn on the soundboard, you have to wait for a moment for it to completely power up. It is a computer, so it takes a moment for it to power up. All right, when all the lights are on and the screen is lit up, the soundboard is on. At this point, you can turn on the speakers. All the speakers are powered and they run to this switch right here. Now the soundboard may seem complicated, but on Sunday nights there's very few things that you have to do. One thing we have to make sure is that the main volume is turned on. This is the main volume right here. It runs all of the volume of the entire board. It can turn on right here. Usually there's these little tiny numbers right here, and usually we do not go past -10. So this is about as loud as we need to go on pretty much anything. Okay? You don't have to worry about these. These are pretty much set. Over here is the computer. So if we're going to play any music through the computer, we're going to play it through here. And over here is the preacher's mic. This is Spencer's wireless microphone. Again, it's important to make sure that the main is turned up. Don't turn it past -10. And this is what it looks like at the top. Left and right speakers, that's main. You don't have to worry about these in the middle. This is computer and preacher mic. Mute buttons. You press them, they turn red. You press them again, they turn off. Red means the sound has stopped going through and it is muted. Now I know there are other boards that the mute button may turn on and off a different way, but on this board, if it is red, then there's no sound going through. So if there's no sound going through and you've made sure the volume is up and that the preacher mic is working, make sure you unmute that. Now, microphones. Let's look at microphones. All right, so microphones. Somebody's going to use a microphone. There's a box. And in the box, we have microphones. So you pick a color out. Pick a color. Usually green, because it's cool. I like to store the case under here. Okay. Take the microphone. See the color on it? Unscrew it. Make sure this goes back with the right one. We keep a set of 9-volt batteries on a charger back in the back. Just fits in here like this. And then screws back on. To turn it on, hold down the button. It's on. I don't know if you can see the green there. If you hold it down again, it turns it off. Turn it on and push it once, and it turns amber or red. I think it's amber. Then it's on mute. So green means go, red means stop. Remember the color of your microphone. Start on this side of the board. Look, there's green right there. It's Rachel's. That's actually just named Rachel. This is just the green microphone for that. So make sure that she's on. See the dots that are moving up and down? That means there's sound coming through the microphone. Make sure that she's not muted and that the volume is turned up. That's how you make sure that the microphone is working. After a microphone has been used, make sure that it's turned off, because if you try to pull out the battery while it's turned on, it'll pop. We don't want pops on your system. So unplug it, pull the battery out, plug it back in, and then put the battery away. When a battery is red, such as this one, it means it is charging, and when it is green, it is ready to go.